This video is a bit of a departure from my usual stuff because I want to talk about this beautiful Howl's Moving Castle figure. No one has talked about this yet in video form, and it's been driving me a little bit nuts. To give you some context, I was first introduced to Howl's Moving Castle in figure form with this little wind-up toy that was made in about 2004-ish. When I saw this online for the first time, I was completely smitten because I had never known that there was a wind-up toy. So it's an actual... It actually walks. And it's, you know, it's small, the detail isn't perfect, but it's something. And at the time, this was at the peak of my Howl's Moving Castle toy mountain, you know? There's something very special to me about figures that actually complete a function of the original source material. Like, you don't understand how hard it is to make something walk. All these toys, when I was growing up, they had to have these little pegs on them so that they wouldn't lose their balance. It's really hard to get something to walk. A little bit easier when they have 4 legs. But that brings us back to this figure, this beautiful figure based on the Studio Ghibli movie Howl's Moving Castle by Hayao Miyazaki. Yeah, it gives me so much wonder and happiness that someone actually went through the trouble of making this, and it actually walks. It's powered by, there's a little battery compartment on the bottom. But where's the on-off switch? Well, the door that Sophie uses in the film to get in, on the rear there, that actually turns it on. So you can see some of the amazing detail that they've packed into this little thing. And sure, it's a little bit long, but it's absolutely amazing. So let me run through a couple of the little features. They have, obviously, as it walks, the top of it flops back and forth as if the weight is shifting. There's some secondary movement on the top. The turret is not actually connected to anything, but the weight of the front guns, or whatever you call them, eyes, makes it flop side to side. And then in the same motion, this turret down here goes left and right. And it's barely noticeable, but the eye cannons go in and out. It's just stunning. I can't believe that not only did someone make this, but this is a product that was mass-produced. It's hand-painted. There's so many different pieces and different types of soft plastic involved. And protection against failure. Like, if you have certain parts lock up, it won't break. And one of the most brilliant things is the inclusion of a flickering, internally lit calcifer in the mouth. And I can't believe it. So, you know, Studson Studios' sculpture is probably the most detailed and beautiful version that has physically been made, but it's not called Howl's Standing Static Castle. I want that thing to move, and this thing moves. It's just so fabulous. There's even the littlest detail of these little flaps. I'll have to show you a close-up, but they hide some of the internal mechanism, but they need to be on hinges because as it goes left to right, if they were completely stationary, they would actually clip on the sides and they wouldn't allow the freedom of movement. So there's little pins at the end that allow for this inconspicuous flap to stay vertical no matter which side it's on or the orientation. And it's just absolutely gorgeous. These things are not cheap. I had to special order it because you can't buy them outside of Japan. If you do want to get one of these, you have to find some creative way to get them to North America. But I think it's worth it. This thing makes me so happy. It's so great. I'll show you some B-roll shots just to give you a better sense of the scale and momentum, maybe some slow-mo. Yeah, and share it around if, because other than a few articles when this came out in December, I haven't really seen anything talking about it online. So if you have someone who likes this movie and Miyazaki's work, show it to them if you feel like it. You don't have to. And I hope that you enjoyed. Thanks for sticking around.